The forgotten drain clearing secret isn't a $250 emergency plumber or a $15 bottle of watered-down commercial drain gel that damages your pipes. It's pure sodium hydroxide, also called lye, from any hardware store. Pour half a cup of dry lye crystals directly into the drain, follow with exactly 1 cup of cold water, never hot, walk away for 15 minutes. The lye triggers saponification, chemically converting the solid grease and hair clog into liquid soap that rinses away completely. $1 clears the drain permanently without warping PVC or corroding metal pipes like commercial gels do. But before I show you anything else, understand this. Lye is serious pioneer chemistry. It will burn your skin on contact. It will blind you if it touches your eyes. You must wear rubber gloves and safety goggles. You must follow the protocol exactly. If you cannot do that, call a plumber. This is the Rogue Archivist. The plumbing and chemical drain cleaner industry is a massive cartel built on watered-down products and repeat failures. Commercial drain gels are mostly diluted bleach and weak chemicals designed to sit on top of clogs and generate heat. That heat warps modern PVC pipes and corrodes old metal pipes, ensuring you eventually need a $2,000 repiping job. You just bought permanent drain clearing for $1 using the same caustic chemistry that 1800s pioneers used to make soap from animal fat. $1 versus $250 for a plumber visit, plus $15 every month for commercial gels that damage your plumbing. The math is so absurd that the moment you see it, you'll understand why chemical companies took pure lye, diluted it 90%, mixed it with bleach, and buried the pure powder in obscure hardware aisles while spending billions advertising watered-down substitutes. But just knowing the chemical name is only 10% of the secret. Today I'm going to show you the exact saponification reaction that makes pure lye superior to any commercial drain cleaner. I'm going to show you how 1800s plumbers and soap makers use this chemistry to transform grease and hair instead of fighting it. And I'm going to show you the critical safety protocols and application technique that determine whether this method clears, drains safely, or causes serious injury. By the end of this investigation, you will have the blueprint to handle clogged drains permanently and bypass the plumbing and chemical cartel forever. Let's begin. The science behind drain clogs starts with understanding what actually blocks pipes. Most household drain clogs are organic material. Kitchen sinks clog with grease, food particles, and soap scum. Bathroom drains clog with hair, soap residue, and body oils. These materials accumulate over time, coating the inside of pipes and eventually forming a solid blockage. The clog isn't just sitting in the pipe. It's adhered to the pipe walls through a combination of solidified fats and tangled fibers. Commercial drain cleaners use a combination of sodium hypochlorite, which is bleach, and a small amount of sodium hydroxide, heavily diluted. The bleach is supposed to break down organic material. The sodium hydroxide, it generates heat through an exothermic reaction with water. The idea is that the heat will melt the grease and the bleach will dissolve hair. But these products are diluted to make them safer for consumers to handle. This dilution also makes them less effective. They often sit on top of the clog rather than penetrating it. The heat they generate is intense enough to warp plastic PVC pipes and corrode metal pipes, but not always intense enough to completely dissolve the clog. You end up with a partially cleared drain that clogs again within weeks, and you've damaged your pipes in the process. Pure sodium hydroxide works through completely different chemistry. Sodium hydroxide is an extremely strong base. When it contacts fats and oils, it triggers a chemical reaction called saponification. This is the same reaction used to make soap. In saponification, the sodium hydroxide breaks down triglycerides and fats into glycerol and fatty acid salts. Fatty acid salts are soap. You are literally converting the grease clog into soap inside your drain. Soap is water soluble. It rinses away completely. The grease doesn't get pushed down the pipe. It doesn't get melted. It gets chemically transformed into a different substance that dissolves in water. Sodium hydroxide also breaks down proteins. Hair is made of keratin, a protein. When lye contacts hair, it breaks down the protein structure, turning the hair into a gel-like substance that also rinses away. The combination of saponifying grease and dissolving hair means the entire clog is chemically disassembled. There's nothing left to block the drain. The historical use of sodium hydroxide goes back to ancient civilizations that discovered that mixing wood ash with animal fat produced soap. Wood ash contains potassium hydroxide, a weaker cousin of sodium hydroxide. By the 1800s, chemists had isolated pure sodium hydroxide and were manufacturing it industrially. It became the standard chemical for soap making, but plumbers and homeowners also realized it could clear drains. Before commercial drain cleaners existed, if you had a clogged sink, you poured lye down the drain, the clog disappeared. The method was documented in plumbing manuals and household guides throughout the 19th and early 20th centuries. But pure sodium hydroxide has a fundamental problem from a corporate perspective. It's too effective. A 1-pound container costs $3 to $5 and can clear dozens of drains. Once you have it, you don't need to buy anything else. There's no repeat revenue. And you can't patent sodium hydroxide. It's been known for centuries. Chemical companies needed a product they could sell continuously at high margins. In the early 20th century, as modern consumer culture developed, chemical companies began marketing packaged drain cleaners. They took sodium hydroxide, diluted it heavily, added bleach and other chemicals, put it in thick gel form to make it sit on clogs, packaged it in branded bottles, and advertised it aggressively. Drano, Liquid Plumber, and similar products became household names. The marketing message was clear. Drain cleaning requires special commercial products. Using pure chemicals is dangerous and unreliable. Buy our safe, convenient premixed formula. And it worked. By the mid-20th century, pure lye had disappeared from cleaning aisles. It was repositioned as an industrial chemical, sold in hardware stores for specialized uses like soap making and wood stripping. The packaging became plain and industrial. No bright colors, no advertising. No shelf presence in consumer aisles. The average homeowner never saw it, and the chemical companies ensured you never thought to look for it. They advertised commercial drain cleaners on television. They created brand loyalty. All for products that are 90% water and 10% of the active ingredient you could buy pure for a fraction of the price. Here's what happens when you follow the industry's advice. Your drain clogs. You go to the store. You buy a bottle of commercial gel for $15. You pour it in. It sits on top of the clog, generates intense heat, and maybe partially clears the blockage. 2 weeks later, the drain clogs again because the clog wasn't fully dissolved. You buy another bottle. The cycle repeats. Over a year, you spend hundreds on commercial cleaners, and the intense heat from repeated applications is slowly warping your PVC pipes or corroding your metal pipes. Eventually, the pipes fail. You need a plumber to repipe sections of your home, $2,000 or more. The commercial drain cleaner didn't save you money, it created a bigger problem. But if you had used pure lye from the beginning, none of this would happen. The clog would be completely saponified and dissolved. No repeat clogs, no pipe damage from excessive heat, no plumber bills. You would spend $1 once instead of $15 monthly, plus eventual thousands in pipe repair. Now, I'm going to give you the exact method. But first, critical safety warnings that you must read and understand before doing anything. Sodium hydroxide is an extremely caustic substance. It is not safe to touch with bare skin. It will cause chemical burns instantly. If it gets in your eyes, it can cause permanent blindness. If you inhale the dust, it can burn your respiratory tract. This is not hyperbole. This is serious chemistry that demands absolute respect. You must wear rubber gloves, not latex. Rubber or nitrile chemical resistant gloves. You must wear safety goggles that seal around your eyes, not just glasses. If you have long hair, tie it back. Wear old clothes that cover your skin. Work in a well-ventilated area. Keep children and pets away. Have vinegar nearby as a neutralizing agent in case of skin contact. If you get lye on your skin, rinse immediately with large amounts of water, then apply vinegar to neutralize. Never ever mix lye with other chemicals. Never mix it with commercial drain cleaners. Never mix it with bleach. Never mix it with acids. These combinations can create toxic fumes or violent reactions. Only use lye alone, as I'm about to describe. Product selection. Go to a hardware store. Look for 100% pure sodium hydroxide. It's often sold as drain cleaner in plain containers or as lye for soap making. Common brands include Robic Crystal Drain Opener or Red Devil Lye. Read the label carefully. It must say 100% sodium hydroxide with no other active ingredients. A 1-pound container costs $3 to $5. Assessment before use. This method works for organic clogs like grease, hair, and soap scum. It does not work for physical obstructions like toys, jewelry, or collapsed pipes. If you suspect a physical obstruction, call a plumber. This method works on metal pipes and PVC pipes. It does not work well on very old, fragile pipes that might already be corroded. If your plumbing is ancient and you're unsure of its condition, consider calling a professional. The procedure: put on your gloves and goggles. Remove any standing water from the sink or tub if possible. You want the lye to contact the clog directly, not dissolve in a pool of water above it. If there's a lot of standing water, bail it out first. Measure half a cup of pure lye crystals. Pour them directly into the drain. Do not add water yet. The dry crystals will fall down into the drain and settle on the clog. Now, measure exactly 1 cup of cold water. Not hot water. Not warm water. Cold water. This is critical. Lye reacts exothermically with water, meaning it generates heat. If you use hot water, the reaction becomes violent. It can erupt out of the drain like a volcano, spraying caustic lye water. Use cold water to keep the reaction controlled. Slowly pour the cold water into the drain. You will hear fizzing and bubbling as the lye dissolves and begins reacting with the clog. This is normal. Do not lean over the drain. Do not inhale the fumes. Step back and walk away for 15 minutes. Do not flush the drain early. The saponification reaction needs time to work. 15 minutes is the minimum. For severe clogs, you can wait 30 minutes. After 15 minutes, flush the drain with cold water from the tap. Run the water for several minutes to ensure all the dissolved material and any remaining lye is flushed through the system. If the clog is not completely cleared after the first application, you can repeat the process. But do not use lye more than twice in one day. If 2 applications don't clear the clog, you likely have a physical obstruction or a problem that requires professional help. Post-treatment. Once the drain is clear, run hot water through it to flush any remaining residue. The lye will have been neutralized by contact with the grease and hair and diluted by the flushing water. Your drain should be completely clear. Advantages and limitations. The primary advantage is effectiveness. Pure lye completely dissolves organic clogs through chemical transformation. It doesn't just push them down. It eliminates them. The primary limitation is safety. You must handle lye with extreme care. This is not a casual household cleaner. This is industrial strength chemistry. If you're not comfortable working with caustic chemicals, this method is not for you. Environmental considerations. Sodium hydroxide, when used in small amounts for drain clearing and properly flushed, is less harmful to the environment than continuous use of commercial cleaners containing bleach and other additives. Once neutralized by contact with grease and diluted by flushing water, it becomes harmless salts that rinse away. Pipe compatibility. Pure lye is safe for PVC pipes when used as directed because the reaction is controlled and brief. It does not generate the prolonged intense heat that commercial gels create. It's also safe for metal pipes because it doesn't contain the corrosive additives found in commercial products. However, if your pipes are already severely corroded or damaged, any chemical treatment carries risk. Inspect your plumbing if you're uncertain. This is a $1 investment that eliminates your dependency on $250 plumber emergency fees and the $15 per bottle commercial drain cleaner treadmill. No watered down gels that damage pipes, no repeat purchases, no corporate chemicals that create problems while pretending to solve them. You have just reclaimed 1800s chemistry that soap makers and plumbers used before commercial drain cleaners existed using knowledge that the chemical industry systematically buried. And once you understand that this is possible, you start to realize that many of the other systems you depend on are built on the same model. Pure effective chemicals replaced with diluted expensive substitutes. One-time solutions replaced with recurring purchases. Simple chemistry replaced with branded complexity. The corporations that profit from your dependence do not want you to know that pure sodium hydroxide clears drains permanently for $1. They want you buying $15 bottles monthly and eventually calling plumbers for thousands in pipe repairs caused by their own products. But you are not powerless. Every time you use pure lye instead of commercial drain gel, you are protecting your plumbing infrastructure. You are refusing to participate in the damage and repair cycle. You are choosing effective chemistry over marketing. And you are using knowledge that 1800s pioneers had, and that modern chemical companies deliberately erased. True self-reliance means not being held hostage by a $250 plumber's invoice for a simple clogged pipe. By reclaiming this 1800s chemistry, you bypass the watered-down commercial poisons, protect your home's infrastructure, and keep your hard-earned money in your own pocket. The modern world has convinced you that you are helpless without commercial products and professional services, that you cannot clear a drain without branded chemicals, that handling pure lye is too dangerous for regular people. But the historical record proves otherwise. 1800s homeowners cleared drains with pure sodium hydroxide. Soap makers used it daily to create the products that cleaned an entire civilization. They used knowledge that was documented in chemistry texts and plumbing manuals before the chemical industry developed watered-down substitutes and erased pure chemistry from consumer consciousness. That knowledge was systematically hidden from you. And now you have it back. Use it. Clear your drains. Protect your pipes, respect the chemistry, and remember that every system trying to make you dependent is terrified of the moment you realize you don't need them. The $1 container of pure lye in the hardware aisle is more powerful than $1 billion in drain cleaner advertising. Because the truth is simple. When you understand the chemistry, you don't need the marketing. This is the Rogue Archivist. The vault is open. The knowledge is yours. Take your independence back.